There's an upset brewing at Baxter Arena. It's Omaha women's basketball and number 16 undefeated Creighton Blue Jays. Regular season matchup coming right up.
Cade wide open, triple bottom. Grant wide open three, right wing, bingo! Kennedy Grant from downtown.
Welcome into the Maverick Digital Network studios. I'm Brian Tesmer alongside our analysis for the evening, Jay Bridgman, and we'll be with you up until tip-off time at Baxter Arena. Jay played here at Omaha under former head coach Brittany Lang and graduated in 2019. Jay finished her career as a Maverick with 187 points and 119 rebounds. Jay, thank you so much for joining the show today. We got quite the game on our hands tonight with Omaha and Creighton.
Yeah, we sure do, Brian. It should be a fun one. I mean, two inner-city schools, two really good teams. You know, it should be a good crowd, a good place to play basketball.
Now, this is the second meeting between these two schools in a 2-year span. The teams met at Sokol Arena just a year ago when the Mavericks shocked a lot of people by hanging in the game for a while. In fact, going into the fourth quarter, the Jays only led by 5, 43-39. They meet again tonight, but the Mavs will be playing a much improved Creighton team who remains undefeated. Let's take a look at their records up to this point. Well, we know the Mavs hung around in last year's game, but this is a different team on both sides. The Jays come into today's game ranked number 16 with a 4-0 record. During their first 4 games, Creighton has won by an average of just over 19 points. Those have not been easy opponents. 2 out of the 4 victories came over top 25 teams, South Dakota and Nebraska, where they got a big win at home. A team that UNO opened the season off against with a loss. However, since the home opener loss, the Mavericks have gone on to grab 3 straight wins, and then Creighton has been 3-0 on the road. So we will have something has to give in tonight's game. Jay, it's early on in the season, but how important is it for UNO to grab these early non-conference wins?
You know, it's really important for any team to have a good standing in non-conference, but especially UNO coming into the Summit League ranked pretty low. It's very important not only for their overall record, but just their confidence as well.
Well, Creighton and UNO are 2 teams that have been playing some really good offense as of late. The Mavs have scored 91 in their last 2 games, and Creighton enters tonight averaging 76.3 on the season. Let's take a look at today's impact players, starting with Lauren Jensen. Number 15 from Creighton, the junior who transferred in from Iowa just a year ago, now in her second year with the Jays, coming in averaging 18.5 points per game. She's gone for double digits in all 4 games this season, and for Creighton, Jensen has 16, leading all scorers in last year's meeting.
And for Omaha, all eyes are going to be on the 6'3" senior Elena Pelacuda. She'll come in averaging 17 points per game and shooting at an amazing 73.7% from the field, which is 3rd in the nation. But her biggest impact will come on the glass. The senior leads the Mavericks with 8 rebounds per game.
Yeah, you're right, and she'll need to have a big game on the glass if the Mavericks want to pull the upset tonight. Now, this would be a monumentous victory for the Mavericks at home tonight, so let's take a look at the keys to the game for an Omaha victory. And it's all going to start on the glass, like I just mentioned. The Mavs will have to limit offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities. Last year, Creighton had 11 offensive rebounds and gave up 11 second chance points in the loss. Next, limit turnovers. It's a big key to a victory for any team, especially UNO tonight. The Mavs come in averaging 14.5 turnovers per game. They also gave up 22 points off turnovers, so protecting the ball, a massive key to Omaha to pull off the upset. And finally, as simple as it may sound, they will have to find a way to have multiple contributors. In the last matchup, no one on the Mavericks was able to get into double digits, so finding ways to get their key scorers involved is big. Obviously, they're going to need to have a big game from Elena Pelacuda, but they're going to need to find a way to get big plays from other scorers, such as Grace Cave. And we had the opportunity to talk to Grace's former head coach at high school in Weeping Water, Joel Haveman, who recently took the assistant coaching position at Morningside University.
Grace has always been extremely skilled. Her work ethic, she just loved the game. So she was always in the gym. That's something that you didn't really have to drag her to the gym. She just was passionate about the sport as a whole. And that had started since she was a little girl. She's always seen as kind of a leader of the team, being so good at basketball and still being vocal at the same time. You're kind of born into that natural leadership role, and she kind of took that by the horns.
Well, they will certainly need her leadership on the court tonight if they want to pull off the upset of number 16 Creighton. Just moments away from tip-off at Baxter Arena, we'll be with you at halftime and postgame for more analysis from the Maverick Digital Network studios. Let's turn you over to Jack McGonigal and Austin Ulmer for the call of today's game.
Trying to steal a couple offensive rebounds yourself to lead to those second chance points and opportunities. And that could help them to victory in this tough undertaking tonight. But this is going to be a fun one, Jack. Always fun when the two schools get together, no matter the sport. And here we are tonight.
Yes, we are. It's the crosstown rivalry matchup between Creighton, who comes in at number 16. They take on the 3-1 Omaha Mavericks. Omaha has collected victories over Wichita State, Weber State, and Peru State. And they have a tall task tonight with the Creighton Blue Jays. This is Omaha's last home game until they are back here on December 11th. So a lengthy road trip coming up for Omaha. We'll see if they can end the 4-game homestand with a victory. And this is the 5th game of the season and 5th in the state of Nebraska as they took on the Cornhuskers down in Lincoln in the opener. But this team has looked far much better compared to that one in the last 3 games. Creighton in the blues with the white trims, and Omaha is in the white unis with the black trim and the red outline. And the tip-off is won by the Jays, and it's number 21, Molly Mogensen. She gets it to Lauren Jensen, top of the key, back. Jensen fires a 3 right away and hits it on the right side. And Lauren Jensen is no stranger to finding the basket early. It's 3-0 Blue Jays.
Yeah, and a big 3 to start off the game for the Blue Jays. Already starting with the momentum in this one, Jack.
Kaichis down to Stanley, looking towards Pilakuta on the block, and Pilakuta can't get that to rattle home. Carly Batchelor scoops up the rebound, and here comes Creighton. Pushing it early. Going to Molly. Down low. That's number 31 in Rosnick. Now back. Jensen wants another one. Misses this time. The second go around. The rebound. There is no rebound as it rolls out of bounds. Wise decision from Stanley to just let that one go. And Omaha takes over. 3-0 Jays. About 50 seconds into this opening quarter. And bringing the ball up. That was Kennedy Grant, number 21, going to Grace Cave. Case back to Kaichis, top of the key. Now Stanley on the right side behind the three-point line. Finding Pilakuta, about 10, 15 feet away from the basket. Backing up now back to Stanley. Stanley takes the 3, misses. And going after the rebound was number 21 in Molly Mogensen. And she crosses half court. And now back to Creighton here. And Molly Mogensen down low to Molly. And now it's number 31, and Rosnick misses there, and the rebound here by Kaichis. And Kaichis now pushing it to Grant. Grant lays it in on the right side, and it's 3-2, and Omaha is on the board. Now back to the Blue Jays. And Molly Mogensen now going to, that's Batchelor. Batchelor back to Mogensen, right side, being defended now from Stanley down low. Stolen away by Stanley here in transition on the left side. Stanley behind the three-point line. Crossover, driving left side and in. Omaha takes the 4-3 lead, and Stanley looking really good here in the first couple minutes. Now Mogensen going back to Rosnick. Now here's Jensen. Jensen driving with a paint in front of her and scores with ease on the right side. Creighton ahead 5-4. Lauren Jensen with the first 5 for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and if you're Omaha, you do not want to give up easy baskets like that, Jack.
5-4 Creighton ahead. Here's Kaichis looking for Pilakuta down low. Already missed one, but this time she puts Omaha back in front 6-5. And there's the nation's 3rd best shooter, shooting over 73% from the field. Omaha had 6-5, and an off-the-ball foul down by Stanley in the block. And that's the first foul of the game. So it should be an inbounds play here for Creighton under their own basket. Yes, it will, and Inbounding is Molly Mogensen, the 5'7" junior guard.
Good perimeter defense right here, Jack.
So now swinging her out, Jensen has an open three, right side, and she has the first 8 for Creighton. It's 8-6 Blue Jays.
Good defense there from the Mavericks. Just that three's going in right now for the Blue Jays.
Grant finds Pilakuta down low, just a bit too tall, and Molly takes it away, and she will push the ball up the floor past half court. Molly now goes to Mogensen, being defended by Stanley. Now swings it to Rosnick, fires away, and good. Creighton, some warm shooting behind the three-point line. They lead 11-6. Kennedy Grant crossing the half-court line, number 21. And Grant being strictly defended by Jensen. Now Grant going to her left, still behind the three-point line, 15 to shoot. Now finds Stanley. Stanley's being defended by Mogensen. Now gets herself trapped near half court. Has to break through. She does. She finds Grace Cave. Grace Cave pulls up, and the 10-footer's good on the left side. 11-8 so far, and we are 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, good shot there by Grace Cave. Nice job collecting herself and putting in the easy mid-range basket.
Rosnick to Jensen, and Jensen gets that swiped away by Cave, but it's out of bounds, and Creighton will keep the basketball. So inbounding will be Jensen, who has 8 of the first 11 Creighton points. She had the first 8 points of the game. Our first substitutions here pretty early and into the game for Creighton. There's number 2, Kennedy Townsend, who passes it in to Jensen. Immediately goes to Townsend. Now Jensen cuts towards the rim. Nice little give and go there. Did you see that pick there?
Yeah, that was quite the pick there. Nothing you could do about that.
And now Pilakuta gets fouled as she goes down the floor, and it was before the shot. So it should be, it was on the floor, so it will be an inbounds play for Omaha. And Jensen's got 10 of the first 13 for Creighton.
Yeah, and we've been seeing it already, Jack, but I expect this Creighton Blue Jay team to be double-teaming Pilakuta all night long, with Pilakuta leading the team in points.
So now a little jumper, can't fall for Grant. And the rebound from number 22 in Batchelor. And now Jensen being defended by Grant here. Now back to Rosnick, back to Jensen. Jensen cuts towards the basket, lays it in on the left side. And it is 15-8.
And this is one factor why Creighton's number 16 in the country. You just see the excellent ball movement. No player standing still, constantly weaving, running around, trying to get open and find their nice shot.
Here's Grant to Sam Mitchell. The UAB transfers into the game. Now back out Cave has an open three. Left side, nothing but net for Grace Cave. Cave's hit her first 2 shots of the night.
Yeah, nice assist there from Pilakuta to throw out of the triple team. That's how you get around it.
And 15-11, another off the ball foul called. That will be our under 5 media timeout, so we'll step aside. Creighton and Omaha out to a fiery start. It's 15-11 Jays. This is Jack McGonigal with Austin Omer. This is Omaha Maverick women's basketball on MavRadio.fm and the Maverick Digital Network.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Because you won't want to miss
I just
this.
texted him your number.
Gaylor, are you there? in, but the shots seem to be falling now for the Blue Jays. But Grace Cave, she's made a couple nice shots as well. So
now back out of the timeout, 15-11, Jays on top. And swinging it around. A couple subs in for the Jays, including number 12 and Jamie Horan. And Horan driving past Cave, pull up 15-footer is good from the wing or from the elbow. And it's 17-11. 6-point lead for the Blue Jays. Kennedy Grant going to Grace Cave now. And Cave looking for Pilakuta down low, double teamed, and she misses that one. And it's rebounded by Batchelor, who gets it to Jensen.
Yeah, and Pilakuta wanted to take advantage of the mismatch, just couldn't get it to fall there.
So now Horan down low for number 14, and that's an and one for Mallory Brake. 19-11 Jays, and everything working well so far for Creighton. That's on Grant, her first, the team's third. And now the old school three-point play for Mallory Brake as she gets her first bucket. And the free throw is good. And Brake now shooting 4 for 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Nicola Chikina checking in for the Mavericks now, Jack.
So Grace Cave driving now left side, and now in the paint, gets it out to number 4 and Nicolica, and it's out Grace Cave. Grace Cave now driving, 10 to shoot, floater's good. Grace Cave off to a strong start to her night, and it is a 7-point performance so far for G Cave. Now Mogensen back out, gets it to Jensen, who's already in double figures, to Kennedy Townsend in the corner. Mogensen being defended here by Kaiches. Now back out, Horan, 8 to shoot, looking for breakdown load. It's swatted away by Grant, and an inbounds play for Creighton under their own basket. So we've seen Mitchell into the game. We've also seen Nikolochnia, and now 3 on the way, misses here from Mogensen, and the rebound by the Mavs. Here comes Kennedy Grant in transition, wanting to go to the hoop, and a blocking foul on Lauren Jensen as Grant went right after Jensen. A good collision there, but Omaha picks up the call. Creighton's first or second personal foul of the half. Jensen's first. And Grace Cave on the inbound. Cave looking. Finally finds. That was Nikolachnia. Stepped out of bounds. So it's a turnover. Creighton takes over. Can't afford many turnovers in a game like this.
Yeah, got to keep the turnovers down against a good squad like this Creighton Blue Jays team.
So now Creighton on their side, going to Jensen. Jensen getting past Grant, floater, a little strong, and Mitchell going after the rebound. And it was last touched by Creighton. They say it's Omaha basketball. So 20-13, Jays up 7 here with 2:51 to go in the opening quarter. And Grace Cave now back to number 14, Kaiches. Now driving Sam Mitchell, left side, kicks it out to Cave. Cave being defended by Brake here. Cave goes back to Kaiches, 3 on the way, a little long, no good, and it's rebounded by Kennedy Townsend. Here comes Townsend in transition, looking ahead. She goes to Horan, now back to Lauren Jensen, now being defended by Nikolachnia, and a foul called here. That's on Cave, her first, the team's 4th.
Yeah, already 4 quick fouls for Omaha, Jack. So want to kind of keep those fouls down in a game like this. You don't want to put the Blue Jays at the free throw line too often, giving them a lot of opportunities from that charity stripe.
20-13, and speaking of the charity stripe, missed shot in and out from Morgan Molly, and Omaha scoops up the rebound. Now in transition, Mitchell to Kennedy Grant. And Grant now goes to her left for Nikolachnia. And now Kennedy Grant off the backboard, no good, and it's rebounded by Rosnick. And here comes Creighton. And Molly takes the three, and in and out, no good. Rolled around the rim. Grace Cave picks up the rebound. And Grace Cave gets it now, being defended by Mogensen. She goes to number 4, and Nikolachkina. And now back out to Sam Mitchell. 10 to shoot behind the top of the key, and a reach-in foul called on Mogensen. That'll be the third team foul for the Jays. And that's Mogensen's first.
Yeah, first on Mogensen. Don't want her to get in foul trouble.
Stanley's into the game. Also is number 10, Jalen Townsend, the 5'8 junior guard. And Townsend quickly has the basketball in her hands with 1:20 to go in the first. And Townsend looking for Cave on the backdoor cut, nothing there. Pilakuta now at the free throw line trying to direct traffic. Pilakuta kicks it back out to Townsend, who hits her first shot of the day. It's a three from the left corner. And it is a 4-point game with 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Mavs looking strong, hanging with the number 16 team in the land.
Yeah, big three there from Townsend, coming right off the bench and making her way in this game.
So Ronsick now wanted to drive. Instead, she gets to Molly, who misses the top of the key three, and the rebound from Stanley. 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And Stanley gets it to Grace Cave. Cave, spin move, backing her way towards the basket. Now cross court to Townsend. This time can't connect on the three. And Molly gets the rebound, who goes to Jensen, who's been held quiet these past couple of minutes after a fire start. Already in double figures, and the Creighton's leading scorer has 12 of the first 20 for the Jays. Now 8 seconds to go. Shot clock off. Jensen gets it out to Ronsick, who misses the three. Was off the rim, off the backboard. Offensive rebound for the Jays at the buzzer. A missed shot from Kiani Lockett, and that's how your first quarter ends. 20-16, Jays in front. Second quarter analysis, or first quarter analysis after the break. This is Jack McGonigal and Austin Ulmer, and this is Omaha Maverick women's basketball on MavRadio.fm and the Maverick Digital Network.
The Maverick Marching Band is a historic presence on campus.
4, 3, 2, 1, fade grass to a full.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
Right now, that's the key in this game. Giving up those offensive rebounds, leading to second chance points, and they're doing a good job of that so far. And Grace Cave, she's had a nice game so far already. 7 points in this game. We saw a three-pointer from her, a nice floater there, and also a good shot from the mid-range. So Grace Cave, she's kind of leading this Maverick team so far. And going into the second quarter, only down by 4 right now, Jack.
A little bit of Omaha by the numbers. They come in averaging 72.5 points a game, and they're shooting .382 as a team, and collecting 9.8 steals per game. That's pretty solid. Opponents shooting 44% from the field, and opponents actually averaging 75 a game on Omaha. The free throw percentage, pretty solid, 76.7. and they're shooting 30% from 3, so not too bad for first 4 games into the year. So second quarter underway. Here's Kennedy Grant, and Grant now goes to number 4, and Nikolachkina. And now back to Stanley, top of the key, number 10, and that's Jalen Townsend. Pilakuta, back to Stanley, 5 to shoot. Stanley to Grant. Grant has to make something happen here, and she misses about a 15-footer behind the free throw line. And now here come the Jays.
Yeah, really good defense on that possession by Creighton.
Mogensen going to Molly. Molly driving up the baseline left side. She gets the and one. There's the blocking foul on Kennedy Grant. That is a foul on Omaha. Forgot they reset the fouls at the end of the quarter, so that's the first foul. So one another difference from the men's game and the women's game, they reset the fouls at the end of the quarter, so that's technically Omaha's first team foul, and I believe one of the teams, there's a timeout on the floor, so we will stay here. 22-16, Jays in front of Omaha. Omaha again losing to Nebraska, but defeating Wichita State, Weber State, and Peru State. Creighton, they have defeated South Dakota State, Nebraska, and Northern Iowa. They actually begin Big East play on Friday. They play Xavier in Cincinnati, and then they go to Philly and then to New York, and they're back home December 10th. So Creighton's got a 4-game road stand. That begins tonight, and the Mavericks, they don't begin conference play till December sometime. It's always right around New Year's. So the Mavericks, again, Austin, I guess Creighton scoring 22 points in the first 11 minutes. What are some of the defense adjustments Omaha may need to make?
We're seeing a lot of confusion, switching on the man. This Creighton team, they like to move their players around. We saw a couple of those picks to really throw off the defense of the Mavericks. So Omaha needs to switch on the defensive end. It's going to cause some mismatches, but that way they are on their man. They also need to get those hands up. We've seen them do a pretty good job defending the perimeter. Creighton only 3 for 8 from three-point land right now. That's 37%. So just a little more energy out there on the court, and Omaha can equalize this thing, only down by 6 right now.
So 22-16 out of the break here, 9:19 to go, second quarter. And Elena Pilakuta, there she is with her rest of her fellow Mavs. Pilakuta has been dominant on the floor this year in her first 4 games. This is her 5th year with the program, and she's a grad student. And Morgan Molly is at the line to shoot 1. She was the and one she made. So 22-15. And Morgan Molly wearing number 30. And she was a good free throw shooter, shooting 75%. She makes that there. It's 23-16, 7-point Jays lead. Stanley to Pilakuta, handing it off here to Townsend, and just batted away by Batchelor. And it's an inbounds play for Omaha right in front of the Creighton bench. And inbounding will be number 10, Jalen Townsend. No relation to Kennedy Townsend, number 2 on Creighton. Here's Pilakuta, number 5, being tightly defended by Molly way near half court, but she does get it to Townsend. Now Townsend trying to make a move on the left. Looking for the backdoor cut of Kaiches. Nothing there. Pilakuta now driving. And in the center of the lane, kicks it back out. Now swinging it around. Shot here is in and out, no good from Nikolachkina. And rebounding is the Blue Jays. And Molly looks to Mogensen. Now an open 3 here for Ronsick, and she hits the triple on the right side. And a 10-point Blue Jay lead, 26-16.
Yeah, nothing you could do about that defensively. Pilakuta was in her face, but just great shooting there.
So Kaiches now to Townsend, looking to Pilakuta on the paint and puts it in on the right side. Nice post move from Elena Pilakuta. 26-18. And for Creighton, Mogensen swings it around to Ronsick, who won it 3 in a row, but right there for the offensive rebound, no box out at all, as Batchelor puts it in for the second chance points, and Creighton's back ahead by 10. 28-18. Now having trouble, Stanley being defended by Batchelor. She does get it to Kaichis. Now back to Townsend at the top of the key, finding Pilakuta again, and Pilakuta comes up short there. Batchelor with the rebound. Now Batchelor jogging up the floor with the basketball at the top of the key. And now immediately they find Ronsick down low, but it is a foul on the floor.
Now a few substitutions for Omaha here. Looks like they got Grace Cave coming back in. Had a great start to this game.
Yeah, Morgan Gardner in for the first time as well, as so is Anna Nikolachkina. And now a floater here is good from Batchelor. And Creighton is sizzling on offense. 30 points still with 7.5 to play in the opening half. Grace Cave going to number 4, and Nikolachkina. And she is fouled here by Molly. Just kind of ran right into her. And that was Ronsick. And that's the first team foul on the Jays here in the second quarter. And Nikolachkina gets it to Grace Cave on the inbound. Cave back to Nikolachkina. Screen made Kaichis. She goes the other way to the left. And the official blows the whistle. It's a kick ball.
No, they got her tripping, it looks like.
Oh, it was tripping. Yep, it was tripping.
While she was trying to drive around her, stuck her foot out. Can't do that.
So the second team foul here for Creighton, and that's number 2 on Lauren Jensen. Something to keep an eye on. Grace Cave on the inbound. Cave trying to direct traffic, and nothing there on the pass, and Ronsick picks that up. It's a turnover from the Mavs offense, and Ronsick goes to Batchelor right corner. Now swinging around Ronsick, swinging around again, and the open 3, good for number 21, and Molly Mogensen. A 15-point Creighton lead, their largest of the afternoon, or the night now. That's 6:50 to go here in the first half. Grace Cave.
Creighton shooting 46% from 3 now.
Gardner goes to Nikolachkina, Anna that is. Kaichis now to number 4, and Polina Nikolachkina. And now she drives, splits the defenders. Nice lay-in there. Tough driving in on the right side.
Nice layup.
33-20. Creighton ahead by 13. Okay. Now a cut down low for Lauren Jensen, who gets wrapped up with Morgan Gardner. Jump ball. Yeah, and Omaha takes over.
That's that aggressiveness you like to see from Gardner right there. Going for the ball, causing the jump ball. That'll get your team going.
Oh, so I guess the possession error was in Creighton's favor. So Creighton takes over here, and Grace Cave with a steal. And here comes Cave quickly in transition, about the fastest we've seen her all tonight. She's just too strong on it, and she misses the layup. And Creighton scoops up the rebound. And now here are the Jays on offense, shooting the ball well. And Mogensen going to break here. Now swinging it around to Mogensen. Now back to an open 3 here for Haran. She misses, and break tried to kind of tap it to Haran, but just ran out of room, and it's a Omaha basketball. And they'll inbound right in front of the Maverick bench. That's number 14, Katie Kaichis. Goes to Grace Cave. Cave jogs up the floor. Hands it off to Sam Mitchell. Now screen made, Morgan Gardner. Mitchell swinging it around to Nikolachkina. And now going to her right. Hands it off to Polina Nikolachkina. And now back out Grace Cave. It goes off her shoe, but what a save from Sam Mitchell. Oh, no, she stepped out of bounds. Looked like she had it there and kept her feet in, but just ran out. And a turnover for the Mavs. Creighton takes over, 5:27 to go, 33-20.
Might see a little more pressure. It looks like Omaha moving up on the defensive end a little bit.
So now Mogensen back to break, and now to Haran. Haran, really tight defense from Sam Mitchell, does swing it around and finds now Batchelor. and cut inside. And now back out three. Haran misses, and it's rebounded by Kaichis. And Kaichis in transition gets it to Grace Cave. Now Cave to Morgan Gardner. Turn around and puts up the 10-foot jumper right on the edge of the paint. And it's a 33-22 game. Mavs down 11. Jamie Haran now gets it to number 22 and Batchelor. Nice pivot from Batchelor in the paint, right on the baseline to get past Gardner for the bucket. And Creighton back up 13.
Yeah, Batchelor showing off her speed there.
Here's Kaichis. Kaichis now. Pivot, be in trouble with Batchelor right on the block. Has to get it away. And 5 seconds, and it's a turnover by the Creighton defense.
Yeah, good defense by the Blue Jays once again, really tightening up on the defensive end against Omaha.
So Nikolachkina out of the game. Here come the Blue Jays. And now Creighton, number 21, Molly Mogensen. Down low, look, there's Morgan Molly and Cave. Look at that, takes the charge. Just got all of Morgan Molly, and she took it like a champ. And she takes one for the team there.
Like to see that.
35-22, and yeah, feet set there for Grace Cave. Well done. And Grace Cave now right side. Nikolachkina with the screen to Gardner, top of the key. Sam Mitchell now left side. Wanted to drive, but is tied up there. And Gardner now to Nikolachkina, top of the key. She drives right side. Tough drive and just too wild. Hit the side of the hoop. And now Creighton in transition. And Mogensen gets it down low. And now and one for number 14, Mallory Brake, her second of the day. And just Creighton wins that one there.
Yeah, and I know Grace Cave wasn't happy with that foul, but she definitely was over the back on her. They're going to call that.
37-22, Creighton in front. Number 14, Mallory Brake, averaging just over 2 points a game.
Yeah, and something to keep an eye on, Jack. That's now 2 fouls on Grace Cave, so she went to the bench.
Jensen's got 2, Cave's got 2. Stanley quickly after the missed free throw hits the floater, and it's a 13-point game. And now in transition, bad pass from Mogensen looking for Batchelor to the left of her near the Omaha sideline, and gets under her hand there on a low pass, and it's a turnover for Creighton. Omaha takes over. Morgan Gardner on the inbound. Gardner gets it to Stanley, being defended by Mogensen. Screen made, Pilakuta, Stanley goes to her right. Now Gardner, top of the key. Back to Stanley, being defended by Mogensen. And Stanley, nowhere to go, and now she has some room in the paint, throws up a lot, but she does draw the contact, and Stanley's heading to the free throw line. That is the first on break in the 4th team foul, so 3:03 to go in the second quarter, and Creighton is ahead 37-24.
Yeah, these are some big free throws right here for Omaha.
Stanley 83.3% from the free throw line. See if she can rattle in 2 for 2 here. 0 for 1. Announcer jinx. Season high 18 versus Weber State. She was previously at both Florida Gulf Coast and Eastern Michigan. She had 25 at Florida Gulf Coast and last year against Lipscomb in the ASUN tournament. Well, she goes 1 for 2 as she makes her second, and it's a 12-point deficit for Omaha with 3 minutes to go in the first half. And for Creighton, Kiani Lockett goes to Lauren Jensen, who's back into the game. Took some time off as she has 2 fouls now. And here's Jensen on the left side, behind the back. Really good defense here from Sam Mitchell. Now goes to Batchelor. 10 to shoot. Back to Jensen. Jensen drives past Nikolachkina. And with the floater, she makes it. She has 14 here in the first half. Creighton up 14, 39-25. Sam Mitchell to Stanley, who just hit that last free throw. Being defended by Lockett. Now Gardner had some contact but finds Pilakuta. Pilakuta misses on the put-in on the right side. Creighton gets the rebound. Here's Lockett being defended by Stanley. And Lockett now with the one-handed pass to Molly, being defended by Nikolachkina. And now back to Lockett. Over to number 14, and Mallory break, but an off-the-ball foul is shoved to the ground was Carly Batchelor. That's on Gardner. And now Omaha at 14 fouls, and that was Gardner's first personal. So an inbounds play for Creighton with 2:04 to go in the half. And inbounding will be number 11, Kiani Lockett. And Lockett on the inbound goes to Batchelor. Batchelor now back to Jensen. Jensen tries another three, and she's strong on this one. And rebounded by Gardner, pass deflected, but in the hands of Sam Mitchell, who crosses half court. Sam Mitchell being picked up by Batchelor. And Mitchell down low. Pilakuta was the target, but it's knocked away by Molly, but it's an inbounds play for Omaha. And that defense is tightening up for Creighton here, as you can tell, Austin.
Yeah, they're really tightening up on the defensive end, are the Blue Jays, and that's part of their success they've had these last couple seasons and part of their deep run in the NCAA tournament last year.
So Mitchell goes to Stanley, a little fake out from Stanley, and she hits the triple, and she's feeling confident after that make. 39-20, Omaha cuts the deficit to 11. Now here's Lauren Jensen being defended by Gardner. And it is still on the ground. Jensen, she fell to the ground right on the baseline. And I believe Flannery did get a timeout off. Yes, he did. So Flannery takes the timeout as Jensen was in the danger zone for sure with 1:25. And Omaha shooting 48%. Creighton at 55.2. Omaha shooting 50% from 3 for 6. The Jays at 35.7. But I think right now, Austin, if you're Kerry Banks, for the most part, you have to like what you're seeing.
Oh, most definitely. And looking at this stat line, pretty good stats for Omaha hanging in this one. 15 rebounds for Creighton, 12 for the Mavericks. Only giving up 2 offensive rebounds so far on this. Omaha shooting 48% from the field, 50% from 3. For Creighton, 55% from the field, and 36% from 3. So you can really see Omaha doing a good job on the defensive end, but shots just seem to be falling for Omaha, and the speed is definitely on the side of Creighton.
So out of the timeout, 3 taken by Molly, no good. Creighton with the offensive rebound. And now Molly there with the second chance points for Creighton as she lays it in on the left side. 41-28 Blue Jays. And here's Stanley to Gardner. Quickly back to Stanley being defended by Batchelor as we approach a minute remaining in the first half. Stanley to Gardner, who's on the wing, takes the jump shot, in and out, no good. And Pilakuta got a hand on it, but right back to Pilakuta, and she puts it in. A mistake by Lockett gives it right back to Pilakuta for the points. 41-30. It's an 11-point game. Speaking 11, Lockett hands it off to Jensen. Jensen being defended by Nikolachkina. And now gets it to Batchelor. Batchelor wants to drive. Center of the lane. No good. And wisely chases the rebound. And follows her shot and earns Creighton another chance for points.
Yeah, another one of those offensive rebounds for the Blue Jays.
And an offensive foul here on number 11, Kiani Lockett.
Yeah, they got Lockett with the push-off there.
So that is the 5th team foul against Creighton. Omaha's at 4. So 27.3 to go, and the shot clock is off. So we'll see if Omaha saves for a last-second chance. And if they can get this thing within 8 or 9, I think that's almost a moral victory if you're Kerry Banks and the Mavs, as Creighton comes in at number 16 in the country in yesterday's AP Top 25 poll. Now 10 to go. Stanley splits the defenders after Molly and misses the layup. Ball's up for grabs. Stanley's on the ground, and it is a jump ball, and the possession will stay with Omaha with 2.8 to go. And now we'll get to see an inbounds play with very minimal time. See what kind of shot they get off here. Sam Mitchell inbound, so Horan's into the game for Lockett.
Yeah, we'll see if they try to get Stanley open here.
So Mitchell goes over the top looking for Gardner. Gardner misses the put-up, and that's the half. Creighton ahead 41-30. We'll turn it to our color commentator, Austin Ulmer. First half thoughts, Austin. What'd you like from Omaha, and what do you think is going to be discussed in the locker room?
I think Carrie Banks is going to emphasize keeping at it on the boards, hanging in there only down by 11, partially due to their rebounding. They're doing a good job getting out on their man on the defensive end. Creighton is just hitting more shots, to be plain and simple, in this one. But I think Carrie Banks, you're feeling pretty good going into the locker room. Emphasize more momentum on defense, the defensive end, keeping your energy up, getting after your man on the perimeter, and they have a fighting chance in this one, Jack.
So 41-30, the Jays are ahead by 11. We'll send it back to the studio.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The two hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
Brian Tessmer and Jay Bridgman with you live from the Maverick Digital Network studios. Now, we have seen some pretty impressive play from Omaha in the first half. And one thing that I would like to note is the play of Grace Cave. She had a great first quarter. What do you like from her so far?
Grace, she has really come into this game super aggressive. Obviously, Creighton was focused on Elena, focusing on her as an offensive threat, but Grace has really taken that kind of chip on the shoulder attitude and is really not afraid of anything that Creighton throws at her defensively or offensively. So I'm really impressive stats from Grace Cave so far.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, she had a great first quarter, had 7 of her 8 in that play, but she slowed down a little bit in the second quarter. And one thing that Jay actually mentioned during the game was she noticed a lot more double teams coming on Elena down low, which is going to open up shooters as we get further into the second half. What's something that you can that you expect to see UNO do? You think they're going to allow Elena more opportunities, or do you think more opportunities are going to come from the shooters in the second half?
Well, I think the first and second quarter, Omaha looked overall pretty good, and I think having that confidence going into the second half, they're just going to continue to be as aggressive, if not more, and hopefully with that will draw some of Creighton defenders out away from Elena so she can get done what she usually gets done.
Well, let's take a look at the replays from the first half action from Baxter Arena. It was a great start for UNO. They hung around in the first quarter. It was 20-16, but a 21-14 quarter in the second for the Jays allowed them to pull away to that 11-point lead we see at the half. So far, for Creighton, though, only 4 offensive rebounds. That was a key emphasis in our pregame show. They have done a much better job this evening in containing offensive rebounds. And a lot more is going to come in the second half as we get set for action back in Baxter Arena. Now, Jay, what has impressed you the most about UNO in the first half?
I kind of mentioned this talking about Grace and just how she's been so aggressive, but UNO, they really do not seem like they are backing down at all. Everything that Creighton throws at them, they are just moving on to the next play. You can tell they're not really thinking about what went wrong or anything, and they continue to attack them. Coming into this game, Creighton being ranked top 20 team in the country, it's easy to have that fear, but I haven't seen that from any of them.
Yeah, and Creighton is a top 20 team, like you mentioned, and it's worth noting that with these two teams being so close together, that there is a hometown face-off happening tonight. Reporter, well, first, before we go to reporter Anna, let's take a look at the stats from the first half. Creighton trails by 11 at the break. The Jays have been shooting 17 of 32 from the field, 53.1%, and then 33% from the three-point line. Creighton, on the other hand, or excuse me, UNO, 44% from the field, 50% from the three-point line. Both teams have been limited to free throw attempts. Creighton out rebounding UNO by 4 at the break. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's worth noting that these two teams are so close that there's a hometown face-off happening right now in Baxter Arena. Reporter Annie Elming sat down with Omaha natives from each team.
Home, a safe haven, the place where you grew up. And for Creighton guard Jamie Horan and Omaha's Achille Felici, it's the place where they have chosen to stay the past 4 years and continue to live out their basketball dreams.
Pushing ahead, trying to cut through the defense. On the right, Felici's open for 3. Can she make it 3 for 3? Yes, she can!
Horan going inside, finds all kinds of room and lays it in.
Yeah, it was a good decision for
Jamie Horan lettered all 4 years at Millard South High School and was the 2018-2019 Gatorade Player of the Year. She finished off her career at Millard South with a school record of 1,317 career points. Achille Felici averaged 16 points a game at Bellevue West High School and was a 2-time All-Metro selection. She set a school record of 11 three-pointers and 41 points against Omaha Bryan. But for both athletes, it's clear why they decided to stay home: family and community.
My family is a huge part of my life, so I couldn't imagine looking up in the stands and not having my parents up there, or family, friends, all my coaches that helped me get to the point where I'm at.
I would definitely say the people that come into this program, even the coaches, they just set you up for situations that you're gonna have to deal with in life outside of basketball.
As athletes advance in their career, it becomes more and more rare to see familiar faces on the court. Of the 26 players across both teams, only 2 hail from the city of Omaha.
I've grown up my whole life playing against Achille, like since I think we were probably 8 or 9, we were playing against each other. So we always had a pretty good relationship with each other, super respectful. She's a great athlete, great person, all of that.
She's a really good shooter, a very great person. It's really nice to be able to play against people that you've played against since you were in middle school, high school. It's always just good to see people being able to compete.
2 players who experience a blast from the past when they see each other on the court. Despite the rivalry, both of them have love and respect for one another. Tonight will be no different.
Great stuff, Annie. We'll be right back.
For me, it's about understanding the process of communication and what we learn through that process.
So something that you'll find within the School of Communication graduate program is that there is such a rich field of expertise.
I can think of no other discipline where we spend so much time focusing on not just one side of the conversation, but all sides of the conversation.
Not only do you get to work closely with other graduate students that come from all different walks of life, but you get to learn from graduate faculty that take those perspectives and help you grow yourself in a way that teaches you to be an academic, but also lets you be you in a really unique way.
I chose UNO very specifically, not just because I live here, I'm proud to represent here, but because I thought their program offered strengths that I didn't see in other programs.
Welcome back to the Maverick Digital Network studios. Halftime reporter Mitchell Clutcher joins us live from Baxter Arena.
So I'm here with the athletic director here at UNO, Adrian Dow. Adrian, first question I got for you. You got connections to both of these schools. What does this matchup mean to you?
You know, I just think it's really, really neat for a city like Omaha to have 2 Division I programs. And so, in every sport we can do it. It makes a lot of sense for us to play, and certainly I've got ties at both schools now, but certainly going for the black school tonight, and we're going to try to do everything we can, not only tonight, but give them a run in all the sports we play in.
You just celebrated your 1-year anniversary as the AD here at UNO. What improvements have you seen in that period of time?
A lot. And, the landscape has changed a ton in NCAA. We've been really proactive in trying to adjust to them, but there's an incredibly high ceiling here at UNO, and we're going to do everything we can to reach that ceiling, and really excited to be here and look forward to year 2.
And then, is this a matchup you would like to see across all sports here at UNO?
Absolutely. I think in every sport we can that we both sponsor, we absolutely need to play. And I think most people in the city would say that as well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Adrian, and thank you for everything you do for Omaha Athletics.
Thanks, Mitchell. That is some great stuff. And reporter Mitchell Klutcher also had the chance to sit down with a few members of the Omaha roster to ask why international athletes are coming to the United States to play basketball.
From 2015 to 2020, in women's college basketball, the number of international athletes jumped from 364 to 645. What about playing college basketball in the United States is so appealing to international athletes like Omaha's Elena Pilacuda?
I wanted to play basketball, I knew that, but I think United States is the best place to combine both college and basketball at the top level, because other countries, you have to sacrifice one or the other.
Across all Division I sports, the number of international athletes experienced a 3% increase from 2015, where 10% of student athletes were international, to 2020, where 13% are from outside of the United States. Paulina Nikolichkina says the biggest difference from Russia and the United States is the speed that teams play at.
The tempo here is so much better than in Russia, and we like playing fast, so that's really my favorite part in basketball.
As of 2020, less than 1% of all women's college basketball players are from Russia. Omaha not only has 2 Russians, but they have something even more unique. The pair are sisters.
We've been playing together our whole lives. We never played by ourselves, yeah.
For the Nikolichkina sisters, it was their coach that sparked their desire to play in America. The United States has what they're looking for: opportunity and pace of play.
They make in Russia, the United States is super world, everybody want to play here, but not everybody can make it to play here.
Paulina, head fake, drives inside, floater off the glass and good.
International athletes are not something new in Omaha. In the past 5 seasons, the Mavericks have featured girls from Australia, Brazil, Sweden, Canada, Cyprus, and now Russia. This is a trend that is not specific to Omaha either, as 7 of the 10 women's basketball Summit League teams feature an international student athlete.
Great stuff, Mitch. Just some wild numbers. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back in the studio. Welcome back to the Maverick Digital Network studios. I'm Brian Tessmer alongside our analyst, Jay Bridgman. Jay, I know it's still very early on in the season, but how important is it for teams to stay healthy throughout the season?
You know what? Other than academics and making sure that your grades are up, I think health is the most important thing when it comes to being a student athlete.
Yeah, that is a great point. Our own reporter Addison Parr visited UNO Pitching Lab to see how the university is taking a new approach to the health of student athletes.
Athletes across the country are coming to the University of Nebraska at Omaha for a state-of-the-art performance evaluation.
We're the first to really, push the envelope, bring the same technology that we use in other sports and apply it to softball so that we set the gold standard.
Started in October of 2019, the UNO Pitching Lab has spent the last 3 years working to improve the strength, velocity, and overall health of student athletes.
Certainly you need athletes to be strong and fast and quick,
but from a sport-specific performance, there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to expand in. That's really where we like to collaborate as kind of a holistic view of the athlete. How do we best take care of our athletes? How do we best rehabilitate our athletes?
What started as a love for baseball has grown into an advanced clinical analysis, providing in-depth, individualized reports for each athlete.
So we're gonna look at their flexibility, their strength, like the severity of like how much has your body changed to accommodate your mechanics. There is no more guessing. We know with exact certainty what's going on to the millimeter every millisecond. Like we know exactly what's going on.
Using research-grade motion capture technology, the lab can assess an athlete's movement to highlight any inefficiencies in the 25 distinct variables.
And I'll put a bunch of small little like reflective markers on them. These markers are placed on really specific parts of their body that's going to indicate like a joint. So I'm going to put one like on each side of like your knee joints, so we see like where your knee hinges, your elbows, your wrists, everywhere. It has like some sort of meaning in terms of how we throw. Those markers will then show us where they're moving in space. And so I'm able to see exactly how they're moving, how much force they're exerting, both as they push off and land, just as much detail as I can as possible to understand their movement.
After their evaluation, each athlete receives a complete report detailing the meaning behind each movement and providing a plan to improve or adjust any areas of concern.
I think that's been a really valuable experience for our academic students and our student athletes to be able to see how science and technology can work hand in hand with sports. It's a great learning experience for everyone involved.
In just 3 years, the UNO Pitching Lab has served over 300 student athletes, and there's no end in sight.
I want to help athletes because the best part of what I do is just like being bought into the athlete's progression. I'm going to stay around this lab for as long as I can and progress this forward and see, what we can do, how big we can get, and how many lives we can improve.
Great stuff. Now let's send you back to Baxter with Jack McGonigal and Austin Ulmer on the call.
Way around the defender and out of bounds, last touched by Creighton off a rebound, and Omaha inbounds play 56 seconds into the half. And Grace Cave will inbound. Cave looking, has to find somebody, and I believe it was a foul. It was.
Yeah, it looks like they got number 21. Yeah, Molly Moggensen.
Yeah. So another inbounds and quickly go to Grant. Grant now on the left side, lays it in, goes right around the defender. And a 44-32 game, and quickly heaved down the floor to Batchelor. And now here's Molly. Molly being defended by Kutchus. Swinging it around in the corner. Jensen, three on the way off the market. Air balls out of bounds. And last touched by Molly as her and Stanley were going for the rebound. And it is last touched by Morgan Molly, the Crete native. A Crete Cardinal out of bounds. Omaha, the pass in, and now jogging up the floor is Grant, picking her up half court. Jensen, and to Kaichis. Now to Stanley. Tight coverage there, Cave. Kaichis top of the key being defended by Ronsick, and now it's Grant. Grant stop, pop too strong off the back iron and backboard. No good. Rebounded by Molly, who gets it to Jensen. Jensen now swinging around. Here's that Creighton offense. Back to Ronsick. Here's Molly. Molly wanted the three. Grace Cave immediately hand in the face, but instead Molly kind of jukes her out and hits the three anyway on the left side of the floor. And the Jays up 15, 47-32.
Yeah, Grace Cave totally got faked out on that pump fake from Molly. Led to that big three-pointer for the Blue Jays.
So here's Kaichis to Grace Cave, top of the key. Back to Kaichis, left side. Swing around Grace Cave. Now driving, free throw line. Back out to Stanley, number 00. Stanley now driving. Has an open lane and lays it in. Stanley in double figures. She's got 10. And Stanley, another double-digit game for her. And Molly wants another three, and this time misses. It was a long three off the front iron. Kaichis goes and grabs the rebound and crosses half court. Now Stanley, top of the key, just hid that layup. Kicks it out. Kaichis open three left side off the mark too far. Grace Cave there for the offensive rebound. Cave cross court pass. Kaichis left side. Double trouble. Being double teamed gets it to Grant, who has an open three. Top of the key. Grant off the mark. No good. And rebounded by Lauren Jensen, who pushes the ball up the floor across half court. Being picked up by Grace Cave. Grant's been on her most of the night. And Jensen now looking to number 21 in Mogensen. Back out Molly wants her second three of the half, and she's got it. Left corner. Pia Lakuta was on her, but not good enough defense. And it is a 16-point Jays lead, 50-34. With 6:40 to go in the third quarter. And Carrie Banks burns her first time out of the half. So Omaha trailing by 16, and Austin, there's that three-point shooting from Creighton we saw much of in the first half.
Yeah, and Morgan Molly really starting to come on now from behind the arch. 11 points now in this game. Her and Lauren Jensen have really had their way against the Mavericks. And you could tell Creighton really made some adjustments in the locker room at halftime to what this Omaha defense was giving them. And they've been able to, through their good ball movement, find the open man and catch.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
Jays, as they were shooting 390 from, or 39% from three, so they are right on point, just a bit above average, and they were shooting 47.3% from the field, and tonight they're at 52.6. And from the free throw line, they were 70.4 coming in. Tonight they're 66.7, as they've only shot in three from. There's only been 5 combined free throws in this game. Jays are 2 for 3. The Mavs are 1 for 2. And this is, again, the 8th all-time meeting as the teams have been D1. Creighton took the game last year, 71-51. And Omaha is yet to hit 55-plus against Creighton since joining D1. And we'll see if they can get over that tonight. And again, the school's just 5 miles from one another. Creighton in the downtown area. Omaha right here, Exarban in its backyard. And out of the timeout, Grant side of the floor here. Gets it to Stanley. Stanley now driving left side. Runs into the wall. Molly kicks it back out. Kaichis long on the three. And the rebound here from the Blue Jays.
Got to get back defensively here if you're Omaha.
So Kennedy Townsend's into the game. Gets to Molly. And there's Molly. And she's turning up. She's got 13. And 8 of those 13 are here in this second half. And the Jays up 52-34, 6:12 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, it's been all Morgan Molly here in this second half so far. Nice move.
So, too strong off the rim for Grant, losing control and picking up the rebound was Ronsick, but she runs into the trouble of Grace and Pia Lakuta, and a jump ball, and Omaha forces the turnover. They'll have the basketball back. 52-34, Blue Jays ahead by 18. Jim Flannery there, and the blue long sleeve, Carrie Bank, and the Omaha quarter zip in the all black tonight. And Pia Lakuta to Stanley. Stanley now driving right side, goes to number 10 in Townsend, swinging it around, and Grant hits the three on the left side. Good passing from Omaha. Flannery visibly upset after the triple, and it's a 15-point Blue Jay lead, and Omaha trying to stay within striking distance of this top-ranked Creighton team at 16. And Ronsick will stop and pop. 15-footer knocks it down on the left side, and she answers immediately after the triple from Grant.
Yeah, and if you're Pia Lakuta, you got to stay on your man. Cannot let them get open for the easy mid-range shot, what we saw there.
So now it's Grace Cave baseline, and Cave back out to Townsend, and Townsend has herself another three on the left side, and Omaha now back-to-back possessions ending in 3 balls, now within 14. And then Molly goes to Ronsick. Molly cuts towards the basket. Nice, well played there from Grant. Read it like a book, and she throws it off of Molly to have Omaha gets the ball back. And we will step aside. This is the under 5 media timeout. 54-40 Jays in front. Jack McGonigal and Austin Ulmer. This is Omaha Maverick women's basketball on mavradio.fm and the Maverick Digital Network.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
UNO Mav Maniacs. Let's go! Join the Maverick Maniacs and help our teams get a home advantage. It's not just another student organization, it's a way of life.
Yeah, and actually I'm impressed with the turnover margin. Right now, Omaha only 5 turnovers in the game. Creighton actually has 7 turnovers, so more turnovers in this one. You'd like Omaha now to just create a little more chaos on the defensive end and try to get back in this one.
Yeah, Omaha's averaging 14.5 turnovers per game. Really nice that it's only got 5 right now. And Townsend fires away another 3, but can't hit it after the timeout. And Creighton scoops up the rebound. And here's Jensen. And now down low, Morgan Molly being defended by Townsend. Molly turns around and off the front iron and falls through. And Morgan Molly has been the star of the show here in the second half. Quick tempo, Omaha. Grant fouled as she attacks the glass on the right side. I believe they'll get number 14, Mallory Brake.
Yeah, looks like they got Brake there. Went up for the block, caught some of her arm.
We were both wrong, Austin. That's on Haran, number 12.
Interesting.
So it is Kennedy Grant to shoot the free throws. And Grant makes the first off the front iron, off the backboard, and in. And number 21, Kennedy Grant. She's played well today.
Yeah, 8 points for Kennedy Grant in this one.
I'll make that 9. And she was struggling just 37.5% from the free throw line. That will bump up the percentage, and it's a 56-42 game now with 4:16 to go in the third quarter. And nice juke there from Jensen. Stop, pop, free throw line. Gets it to go after hits the rim, backboard, and in. 58-42, Jays up 16. And Omaha, they're staying par with Creighton. Just can't really make up any ground as of late. Here's Sam Mitchell. She's back into the game. And Mitchell trying to go towards the basket. Has to kick it out to Cave. And Cave just misses wide. And they called the foul as Grace Cave shot the three-pointer. She got shoved, and that's a killer for the Blue Jays. That's on Mallory Brake.
Yeah, if you're Jim Flannery, coach of the Blue Jays, you cannot be happy about that foul because that's how you get back in the game. If you're Omaha, 3-pointers and even shooting 3 free throws with Grace Cave, who's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah, Grace Cave shooting 80% coming into this game. As she makes that first one, it's 58-43. And the second one goes through the net. Now down to 14. And Grace Cave up to 9 points. She's in double figures with 10. She goes a perfect 3 for 3. The Jays are now ahead by 13, 58-45. with 3:46 to go.
Can't let up on the defensive end now if you're Omaha.
Morgan Molly, have to keep an eye on her. She's really played well in this third quarter. And now Haran has it. Now it goes to number 2 in Townsend. Down low to Jensen, who's been just shut down, really, except for that two-pointer. And right as I say that, she has a left-handed layup and in. She gets past the Omaha defense for the score.
Yeah, nothing you could do about that move from Jensen.
Jensen up to 18 points on the evening. And now here's Kennedy Grant, who's played well. Grant driving, and she draws contact. So Kennedy Grant makes a return trip to the free throw line. Slow to get up, and that's Haran again. That's her third and the team's 5th of the quarter. And Grant was slow to get up. Seems to be maybe a little bit of a limp after taking a tough fall. Yeah, just kind of fell awkwardly there on that right leg. Walking a little gingerly, as Austin Ulmer would say.
Well, that's right.
And now she misses her first free throw on the back iron, and she's got a one tight on one leg, not on the other. Don't see that too often. And the second one goes 60-46. Grant goes 1 for 2 from the line, and Jensen now brings the basketball up the floor. Screen, kind of half screen really made there from Ronsick. And now goes down to her break. Now back to Ronsick. Cross-court pass to an open 3 for Townsend. And you can't leave the Jays that wide open behind the three-point line, or else that'll happen. Nothing but net for 3 for Kennedy Townsend.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell caught sleeping on her man and led to the big three-pointer.
63-46, Jays in front, 2:40 to go, third quarter. And now all the Mavs hanging out on the left side of the floor. They finally get it here to Grant, and another foul on Creighton. This time it's on the floor. And that's Jensen's third. The team's 6th.
Yeah, and if you're Omaha, that can maybe encourage you to attack Jensen. Now with 3 fouls, I'm sure they're going to take her out of the game for a little bit. Once she comes back in, you're attacking Jensen.
So Grant hits the free throw.
It looks like they're going to keep her in.
Yeah, no substitutions here for Creighton, and Grant hits another. So 63-48. Omaha outscoring Creighton 22-18 here in the third quarter. And Haran now going to Ronsick, being defended by Townsend. And a wide, nice pass, Ronsick, and cut right up the middle. Haran, bit of a collision from Haran and Townsend there after the basket. 65-48, Jays up 17. Here's Kennedy Grant, top of the key, screen made, Pilakuta going to the right. Comes to a halt, bad pass. It's taken away here by Townsend. Townsend now in transition, and it is a blocking foul call as she attacked in the paint Sam Mitchell. And winning the battle that time on the foul call was the number 2 in blue, Kennedy Townsend.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell just couldn't get back and get her feet set in time, and gets called with the blocking foul there. First foul of the evening for Mitchell.
Kennedy Townsend shooting her first free throws of the season. And her first free throw of the year is good. 66-48. That is how you go 0 to 100.
That's right.
And now you have one more opportunity. And you go 100 to 50. And Pilakuta gets the rebound. Sam Mitchell, number 2, gets the handoff from Pilakuta.
Now might be the time to pick up the pace if you're Omaha.
Yeah, Townsend goes to Pilakuta. Pilakuta takes the 15-footer and knocks it in. 66-50. You don't see Pilakuta take too many shots that far out, but she knocks down the 15-foot jump shot. And now here's Lauren Jensen. Takes a step back, goes to Townsend, who just hit that free throw. Now back to Lauren Jensen on the O. Being defended here by Stanley. And now 10 to shoot for the Blue Jays. Feeding down low. Ronsick gets it up, no good. And touched by about 3 different players. And it was last touched by either number 14 in break or Batchelor, number 22. Nonetheless, it's Omaha ball. Oh, they call a foul there? I thought that was just an out-of-bounds call.
They got Creighton with a foul. Looks like it's on Mallory Brake. Third foul of the game. That's a big foul right there.
I'll be honest, I thought that was just out of bounds.
I did too. I did not see a foul there, but
whatever says goes. So that's Brake again, and that's Brake's third. And Pilacuda hits the free throw. 66-51. What I'm noticing is it's a bit of a slower pace, maybe some fatigue kicking in for Creighton.
That could be something we're seeing here. And if you're Omaha, like I said, this is when you want to ramp up the pace of the game. Play some transition basketball and try to make something happen there.
So 66-52. There's
Good
aggressive defense from Sam Mitchell. Yep. And Stanley picks it up. Stanley, stop, pop, three, off the mark. And she was feeling confident there, but just a bit too quick. Nice hustle. Kudos to her. She went after the rebound, but ran out of room and time. So now 56.2 to go in the third quarter. And the Jays are up 14. It's 66-52. And heave down the floor. Mallory Brake now has it in the left corner, being defended by Pilacuda. She feeds Ronsick down low, and she tries to get to Batchelor. Too hot to handle, and Mitchell picks it up. And now she goes to number 4, and Nikolachkina. Now back to Stanley, top of the key. Sam Mitchell there, half court. A 10-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Game clock at 20 now. And the shot clock at 10. Sam Mitchell to her right. Pilacuda sets the screen at the top of the three-point line. Mitchell goes to the right, trying to get the layup. Gets it back to Townsend. Townsend drives off the backboard as the shot clock expires. Still 7 seconds to go. And aggressive defense from Nikolachkina. And it is just batted away out of bounds with 6 seconds flat to go in the half. And Creighton will inbound right around half court. And Morgan Molly, who's had arguably the most impressive third quarter, is inbounding. Morgan Molly looking ahead. Instead, she goes to the backcourt, standing where Mogensen is. Now Mogensen running out of time. Has to get it to Batchelor. Three on the way. It's good at the buzzer. Wow. And Batchelor puts the Jays up 17 after 3.
Yeah, and that was some good defense there. Just what a shot from Batchelor right at the buzzer. And that's some key points right there for Creighton, Jack, at the end of the third quarter.
69-52, Creighton takes a 17-point lead into the fourth quarter. We will step aside. Jack McGonigal and Austin Ulmer. This is Omaha Maverick women's basketball on MavRadio.fm and the Maverick Digital Network.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The two hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
That just carries momentum for Creighton into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, most definitely all the momentum on the side of Creighton right now. What a shot from Batchelor. And sense of urgency if you're Omaha now has to kick in, Jack. As I said, like to see him kind of pick up the pace, play a little bit of transition basketball, try to catch the Creighton defense off guard right now. And also like to see Omaha maybe set a little screens with Pilacuda to try and create a little bit of chaos there. But we have seen some great ball movement from Omaha. They've kept the turnovers down in this one, so some really encouraging signs against a tough Creighton Blue Jay opponent.
So now we'll see Molly Mogensen, number 21, into the game. And immediately a foul was called on Sam Mitchell. That's her second and the team's first of the quarter. And a round of applause from the Blue Jay fans. Here's Molly on the pump fake. Free throw line, kicks it back out. Ronsick, 3 on the way on the left side's good. And Ronsick began the third quarter with a 3, and she now begins the fourth quarter with a 3. It's 72-52 in Creighton's first 20-point lead here of the game. And now Stanley answers right back with a 3 of her own. And Austin, we were talking about it in pregame. She's really good from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, Stanley, she's been a nice factor for this Omaha basketball team this season.
Well, I guess it's a 3-point parade as Ronsick has another one of her own. It's 75-55. And
17 points now for Emma Ronsick in this one.
Yeah, so 35 points between Jensen and Ronsick. 18 for Jensen, 17 for Ronsick. Stanley now throws up a wild shot on the left side. It's rebounded by Batchelor, who hit the 3 as time expired in the third. And now back to Molly, left side. Stop, pop, and short on the 10-footer. There's Ronsick, who's now the leading scorer at 19, as she gets the second chance points on the short shot from Molly. And it's 77-55 Creighton. And already 8 points for the Jays in a minute and 15 seconds. And that causes Carrie Banks to burn a timeout. But Creighton comes out firing, like you said. All the momentum was on their side. And 8 points in 75 seconds.
Yeah, and if you're Omaha, you got to get back defensively. We've seen some of those long passes from the Blue Jays down court, and that time Morgan Gardner not able to get back on the defensive end and led to that easy pass inside for the easy bucket. And that's been the name of the game. Just started out Omaha very good on the defensive end, but as time has gone on,
I'm a veteran with my battle scars like a Letterman's. I done crawled through the mud both speed. Saw written underestimate
Cave with 10. It's been a fun game to watch nonetheless. It's kind of an upbeat, action-packed, good quality basketball.
Yeah, great basketball, and Omaha showing some encouraging signs. And look where we're at, Jack. If you look right now, Omaha at 55 points. So Omaha has yet to score 55-plus on the Blue Jays since joining Division I, and it looks like we will probably get there tonight.
As long as they don't go scoreless in the final 8:45.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So 12 threes here for Creighton. That is a really solid night from behind the three-point line, as they are out of the timeout. And here is Stanley. Stanley goes back to Nikolaikija, and shot is good from number 10 in Townsend. And 77-57 here, 20-point game with 8:22 to go. And here's Malley, hand in the face. The 3 ball is no good on the left side. And Stanley gets the rebound, and just too far in front for Nikolaichkina. And now trapped in the corner was Townsend, gets it to Gardner. And now back to Mitchell, swinging around Stanley. Stanley doesn't take the 3, instead pump fake, tried to drive, but tripped up.
Yeah, and they'll get Carly Batchelor on that foul.
So that is, I believe that's her third. That's the first foul for Creighton here in this fourth quarter. A couple Jays in foul trouble, but shouldn't really play too much of a factor. Sam Mitchell inbounding, goes over to the top to Gardner. Now Gardner backs up and goes to Stanley. 13 on the night. Stanley driving, kicking it back out to a wide open Townsend, who hits the triple. And Townsend's got 3 threes tonight, and she's looking sharp. It's 77-60.
Yeah, Jalen Townsend having a nice game for the Mavericks.
Batchelor now to Jensen. Jensen in the corner. Goes back out to Molly. Molly cross court. Ronsick off the three, but right there for the rebound. Batchelor kicks it back out to Jensen. Jensen now down low, looking and finding Ronsick. She's fouled as she goes up for the basket, and she's heading to the free throw line. That's on Gardner. Her second, and the team's second of the quarter. Here's Ronsick trying to get to 20 points on the night. And Ronsick has 20. Nothing but net there. And that was Ronsick's first free throw of the night. And now she's 2 for 2. She was coming into the game shooting 81.8% from the line. That'll go up a bit there. And the Jays back ahead by 19, 7.5 to play here in the game. Sam Mitchell being defended by Mogensen. Screen made. Gardner. Mitchell goes to her left. Back out. 3 on the way. No good from Townsend. And the rebound by Lauren Jensen. Jensen pushing the ball up the floor, being picked up by Stanley. Now goes to Carly Batchelor right side. She tried to drive back out to Jensen, top of the key. Being defended by Stanley. Screen made. Ronsick. Jensen. And now looking for an open Molly who wasn't open. Nikolaichkina picks up the steal. Now she brings the ball up the floor, and now across half court to number 10 in Townsend, going to her left, trying to drive, and she does. Off the glass goes, shot it over 2 different Blue Jays. And the Mavs within strike, or still, playing par with Omaha, or with Creighton, 79-62. And here's Jensen driving, and a foul on the floor call. Believe they're going to get Townsend. Yep. That's her first, the team's third. An inbounds play here for Molly Mogensen.
Good heads-up foul there from Townsend, though. Her man got around her, and she was able to foul her, keep it on the ground.
Jensen airballs the 3. Nikolaichkina picks up the rebound. And here's Stanley driving through all the Blue Jays and in. It falls to the floor. What a play here from Stanley, going through the entire Creighton defense for the layup. But Omaha, like you said, Austin, not getting back on defense, but they are bailed out by a Morgan Molly travel.
Yeah, they got bailed out there, as you said, Jack. Got to watch those long, deep passes. They can lead to some trouble.
Townsend inbounds. Stanley's got 15 on the night, 3 points away from her season high. And driving and scoring, Sam Mitchell. And Creighton only ahead by 13, but no defense here in transition as Jensen goes for the easy left-handed layup. And frustration from Carrie Banks as she calls timeout. As it seems to be Omaha maybe a little winded right now.
Yeah, and if you're Carrie Banks, I'd be frustrated too. Those long passes, they've been hurting you all night long, and that's almost been the difference in this game. All the transition baskets they've given up in this one, and Omaha just not able to get back defensively, and it's led to too many easy buckets for the Blue Jays.
So 81-66, Creighton ahead by 15. And the Jays, Stanley with 15, Ronsick with 21. Jensen now has 20 after the layup, and 15 from Molly. So it's been an impressive showing, and kind of passing the wealth around for the Jays as they have 3 in scoring position, but 56 points combined from the 3. So here on the inbound.
And if you're Omaha, this is where that sense of urgency has to kick in on the offensive end.
Mogensen back out. And now covering Sam Mitchell. Mitchell has to get it away. She does to Gardner. And now 10 to shoot for the Mavs. 5.5 to play. Stanley left side looking for the 3, and she travels. And Carrie Banks kind of laughing about that one. Maybe she doesn't necessarily agree with it. And the inbounds here for Ronsick. And Ronsick on the inbound to Molly Mogensen. Mogensen being defended here by Stanley. Hands it off to Lauren Jensen. She's now defended by Stanley. Goes to Ronsick, back to Jensen, top of the key, long 3, no good. And the rebound by Kennedy Grant.
Nice rebound there from Grant.
Grant gets the rebound now in transition, kicks it out. Stanley, right side, swings it around to Nikolajkina, and now she drives in the paint and dumps it off to Gardner for the easy basket from about 5 feet on the block. Omaha within 13 again, 81-68 with 4:51 to go in the game. Lauren Jensen entered the 20-point club as there's an off the ball foul on Gardner. That's her third and the team's fourth. Grace Cave, the Whipping Water sophomore, is back into the game for Omaha. And on the inbound, goes to Jensen, swinging it around to Ronsick. Cross-court pass, Molly, 3 on the way, no good. And Sam Mitchell wisely lets that go out of bounds without giving Mogensen a chance to get it. And an inbounds play for Omaha at the end of the Creighton bench. Sam Mitchell, UAB Blazer, she was before becoming a Maverick. And she's from Downers Grove, Illinois. Had a season-high 15 against the Weber State Wildcats. That was 6 nights ago right here at Baxter Arena. And here's Grace Cave. Grace Cave takes the little fadeaway 15-footer and hits about every part of the rim, but doesn't go in the hoop. It's rebounded by Batchelor. Gets it to Lauren Jensen. Now Jensen being defended by Grace Cave. And down low, Ronsick fouled. And that one's on number 21, Kennedy Grant. And she knew she committed the crime based on her reaction. Her third Mavericks team fifth team foul. And Ronsick back to the free throw line, looking for more on the stat sheet.
And how about the nice night Kennedy Grant has had, though, Jack? Really showing some big signs of improvement. And this game has proven that there. She's done it on a lot of different ways so far in this one, and has 12 points to cap it all off.
So free throw good. 82-68 Creighton with 4:13 remaining in the next one. Good. Ronsick up to 23. Wearing number 31 for Creighton. That matches her season high. She had 23 at Northern Iowa. Kennedy Grant to Grace Cave. Cave top of the key. Driving left side. Runs into the wall of Morgan Molly. Kicks it back out right side to where Kennedy Grant is. She's also being defended by number 21 and Mogensen. Now Grant driving through 2 Blue Jays. Shot no good. And the rebound by Ronsick to Mogensen up the floor to Batchelor here. Now Batchelor cross-court heave over the head throw. And now down low, Molly being defended by Grant and one. Grant looked like she was straight up, but she gets called, and she is wanting an explanation from the official.
Yeah, that looked like a clean play there, but the officials disagree and get Grant with her 4th foul now on the evening.
85-68, Jays ahead of Omaha here. 3:36 to go in the game. And the free throw up and good. Morgan Molly. Morgan Molly's now up to 17. And handoff here to Nikolajkina. And now baseline. It's back out. Grace Cave, right corner on the 3-point line. And now next crossover, 15-footer. Cave, no good. Rebounded by Jensen. There's Lauren Jensen, number 15. Gets it to Molly. Back to Jensen, top of the key, being defended by Stanley. 3 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Batchelor driving. Stop, pop, short. Being defended by Cave. Offensive rebound. Molly gets it to Ronsick. And Ronsick gets an acrobatic and one. Cave draws the foul.
What a shot there, Jack.
And now a season-high 25 for Emma Ronsick. And now you have 4 Jays that will check in as Ronsick is at the free throw line. And a round of applause from the Blue Jay faithful that made the long trek of 5 miles. And Ronsick hits it. So now up 21, 89-68. And the Mavericks trailing by 21. And now back to Grace Cave. Cave gets it to, that's Townsend. Townsend back to Stanley. Stanley, free throw line, trying to go through the entire defense, and she draws the foul. And that one.
Looks like they got Mallory break. 4th foul now on break for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that is on break. So Grace Cave on the inbound. And Cave and getting it here to Townsend. A little strong off the backboard. And it is out of bounds. Last touched by Creighton. And Omaha will get the inbound here. And 2:29 to play. Stanley on the inbound. Stanley looking. Getting it to Townsend. Townsend now, top of the key. Driving now. Free throw line jumper, no good. And rebounded by number 12, Jamie Horan. And now wide open in the block and in for the score. Mallory break. Nobody within 10 feet of her. She gets the easy basket. And Creighton at 91-68. And now the Jays are at a season high 91 points. And Cave is stuffed there. Now gets her own rebound, if you so call it. And swinging around Townsend. Stanley wisely waits for the jump there from Horan, trying to drive. And now gets it to, now it's Grace Cave in the corner. And Cave misses the three on the left side. Horan gets the rebound with 1:36. And here is number 11, and Johnny Lockett. Lockett hands it off to Townsend. Nice give and go. Beautiful cut to the basket there from number 22, Batchelor. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, what a backdoor pass from Batchelor there.
So 93-68, Grace Cave. It's to Nikolajczyk, and it is a foul. Nearly hit the three. And she will go to the line for three. And Nikolajczyk, nice job there and drawing contact and nearly getting the basket to go, but instead she'll shoot three.
Yeah, and if you're Omaha, though, this has been a really encouraging game for you against a top 25 opponent. And I think a lot of people expected them to come into this game and get completely blown out. And that has not been the case so far in this one, Jack. Now down by 23 in this one, but they've hung with the Blue Jays a lot closer than many expected and avoided too many costly turnovers in this one. Have done nice on the rebounding the ball, just have to get back defensively, and that's been kind of the key to their demise in this one.
So Nikolajczyk had 77.8 free throw percentage. She hits all three there. It's 93-71. And going through the entire Omaha defense was Lockett, but missed the layup. And Stanley now racing down the floor in transition, kicks it back out. And Nikolajczyk has it now on the wing. Back out to Stanley. And Stanley now with just 37 seconds. Drives and misses the layup. And now here's Creighton. And Lockett driving and tried to find break, but right into the Mavs. And now 22 seconds to go. And here's the shot, and missing was Townsend. And Creighton should just hold on to it. And Creighton will walk off, and they will become 4-0. Or 5-0 on the year with a win over Omaha 93-71. It was Ronsick with 26 points. Really impressive performance from her and the Jays.
Yeah, the Jays just great shooting in this one so far. Omaha did a nice job hanging with them early on. It just became too big of a task late in the game, and we saw some really excellent ball movement from Creighton all night long, and that has led to their success. And it also helps when you shoot 41% from three-point land. But hey, Omaha shot 41% from three as well in this one, so very encouraging. But 57% from the field for Creighton. And 22 assists for the Blue Jays in this game. Just incredible number of passes. Just tells you how great the ball movement is for this Creighton team, Jack.
Yeah, so 22 assists. They were averaging 16.8 coming into the game, so that average will go up. And with that being said, that will be it. 93-71. The Jays take care of business against Omaha.
Welcome to the Omaha News. We are Omaha.
The complex was condemned by the city in January for numerous safety reasons.
We are truth tellers and award winners.
They process and recycle approximately 100,000 tons of material.
We are a community of strength and a team of big dreams. We are the Omaha News, where the people are the story.
I want people to feel comfortable being part of the group. I remember when I was in high school, I was at my most comfortable when I was eating lunch with my friends in the band room. And it was my tribe. You know, it was the people that I liked being around. So I try to facilitate an environment where those students have that tribe, that support system.
Welcome to the Maverick Digital Network post-game show. Final score, Creighton 93, UNO 71. Now, Jay, that was a big win and two juggernaut offenses going at it there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defensive end for Omaha was a little shaky, but definitely coming from both teams, offense was on fire.
Yeah, now let's go live to reporter Annie Elming, who is with head coach Carrie Banks.
Thanks, Brian. Coach, it's always a tough matchup against a team like Creighton. What were some strong points for your team tonight, and where do you think Creighton capitalized?
Yeah, I think we were really solid defensively in the first half, and I think we had some really, really good moments where we locked in and just really executed our game plan on the defensive end. I thought in the first half, as solid as we were defensively, offensively, I thought we were a little hesitant. But against a team like that, we had some droughts, right, where we let them get off from three, and I thought we guarded them pretty well from three early. And then, against a good team, you can't have those 3-minute and 4-minute runs. But overall, it's great to have, a team of their caliber in here going against our team, seeing where we measure up. And I thought our kids competed, so I'm very proud of them.
And Aaliyah Stanley was the lead scorer for Omaha tonight. What did you like seeing from her, and how pivotal was she in this game against Creighton?
I thought she was really good breaking down their defense, and it was creating opportunities just as much as she was able to score. I thought she was able to make that extra pass out when the defense collapsed on her. So it really opened up some stuff for other kids. I was really impressed with Jalen Townsend as well, too. I feel like this was her first game of the year where she really got going, and we saw, just a glimpse of what she's capable of.
And with Summit League around the corner, what do you want to take from this match?
We got to continue to grow defensively, offensively, and just really execute, but I like the direction we're headed.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Now, Jay, what was the true difference maker in this one as we take a look at the replays from tonight's match?
So like we mentioned earlier, offense was obviously both good on both ends, but I think the biggest difference maker with this game was just defense. The first couple seconds in a possession, Omaha did really well, I thought, with defense, but then as the play went on, it would get broken down and Creighton would just find a way to score. They're a scoring team. That's what they like to do. You're probably not going to outscore Creighton, so the way to beat them is on defense.
Yeah, now let's go take a look at the replay from tonight's game. It was a big game offensively from both squads, who both shot over 40% from the three-point line. Jay, what did you like to see from both offenses?
Well, I appreciated for Omaha how aggressive they were attacking the rim and shooting open shots. I think they could have done a better job with getting Elena more involved. Creighton did a good job shutting her down, and then Creighton, obviously, I mean, they're just such a force on offense. It's very hard to guard their unpredictable offense.
Both offenses lived up to the expectation of what we expected coming into this. We talked about how well they shot from the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats from today's game. We already mentioned the shooting from the three-point line, both teams going 41%. Now from the field, Creighton goes 57%, 81% from the free throw line. As for UNO, they go 41% from the field, 87% from the free throw line. Now, one big thing to note, though, is Creighton tonight only had 7 offensive rebounds. UNO had 5. That was a big key to the game, and I think that they did a nice job of boxing out and rebounding, and that was a big thing for them tonight.
Yes, for sure.
And that will pretty much sum up the stats. A big win for Creighton. The Mavericks will fall to 3-2 on the year. As for the Blue Jays, they move to 5-0. Still a long season ahead for both teams as they gear up for conference play. Once again, Creighton 91, UNO 73. For Jay Bridgman and our entire MDN crew, I'm Brian Tesmer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Maverick Digital Network.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded grass to a full.